After the Emmy nomination backlash continues over Dave Chappelle's controversial Netflix special, Dave Chappelle's Netflix special Closer received significant backlash due to transphobic jokes made during the comic act. Despite that, special was still nominated for 2 Primetime Emmys this week. In the comedy special, Dave Chappelle argues against the comparison between LGBTQ plus rights movement and civil rights of the Black community. Tonight, we're going to discuss if there is support for the LGBT community within the Black community, and a very significant if there is a support for transgender members of our community in the.
They trying to kill us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, what was said? What was said?
Well, pull up the quotes.
No, but here's the thing. We're not talking about. Okay, for clarify, we're not talking about Dave Chappelle and his comments. And
we talking about all.
No, because
but we're also talking about just the relationship
between,
between the Black community and the LGBT community, and in specifics the trans community. You know, like, and I know what Edric is touching on because he wants to know exactly what he said to dissect it and see how offensive it might be, or whether it's just comedic.
I mean, he's not offensive.
Rhetoric.
I mean, to me, he's not. I don't want to. I thought we didn't want to.
So, I'm a comedian, and I say some stuff that can be offensive to gay people. And I give you an example, even with
spit it out,
Samson, who is a well-known LGBTQ queer comedian. Comedians make people laugh. They say stuff
they be outrageous and provocative
that people are scared to say. My thing is this, as it relates to Black and LGBTQ issues, I'm like this. And people may disagree with me, but I'm going to be problematic for a second. Black is the new Negro. I mean, gay is the new Negro.
There we go.
I am.
But I'm also going to touch on the fact of just Black comedy as a whole. There's always been a piece of, okay, I'm not going to say take a shot, but have something in the set against or making fun of the queer community. Like, I remember Kings of Comedy. I loved that special as a kid. And I literally remember the part where, what is his name? Not Cedric the Entertainer. Gosh darn dag.
Bernie?
Yes, Bernie Mac. May he rest in peace. Yeah. He was talking about his nephew who was a homosexual. And now he come down the stairs all sassy and talk like this.
That was me.
That was Edric closeted self back then.
I was nothing but a little girl.
When he used to make when he was homophobic and used to make fun of the gays,
and still do.
But that's just it. We can make fun of ourselves because he was also talking about like the Black community, where it's like, yeah, my sister owned crack. Like, we know we all got that one relative.
And a cousin named Peaches.
I got an uncle named Peaches.
But there's also, let's talk about it in all seriousness. Like, for instance, there was Kevin Hart who came out with that joke that isn't funny.
What was the joke?
I don't remember. Kevin Hart said if his child ever was sashaying down the road, something along the lines, he would hit him in the back of the head.
That's problematic.
You see,
but see, that attitude is still problematic in the Black community.
Yeah.
Being macho, I want to have.
Exactly.
That's the underlying tone of Dave Chappelle comedy and stuff like that. And going back to clarify, as a Black trans woman, I watched the special. I don't think he was offensive. He is a comedian. He's supposed to be provocative and make fun of people. And guess what? Comedians make fun of everybody. If you can't laugh at yourself, then
exactly.
But that undertone of hyper-masculinity in the Black community and saying, oh, I don't want to have a gay son, or I had it personally, my dad say, I'd rather have you be in jail or be that, but we're good now, me like that.
Yeah, but
the point is that hyper-masculinity say, oh, we can't have those sissified and all this stuff like that. It's still very problematic.
Tell me why I just saw a clip of an interview where they were asking some famous Black guy, would he rather his son be more like Future or Russell, that's currently with Sierra? And he was like, Future. I was like, what? And then they turned the script on him real quick and they said, who would you rather your daughter date? And the guy paused real quick. It's like, okay, so you rather your son be like Future, who was a awful man to his girl and stuff like that, rather than Russell, who was a sweetheart and still is to Sierra, you know, surprising her with and all that stuff. But then when it came to who you want your daughter to date, you wouldn't want her to raise the man that you raised.
You know, it just masculinity.
Yeah, you know,
it's like it's in
and you don't even you can't even make sense of it.
Raise your children, your sons. Raise your sons like the men you want your daughters to marry.
Yes, and that's a pure, simple sentence. That's it. And if you did that, then you did a good job. And we're no one to judge, you know, but at the same time, you know, here we go.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.